Alright, what's up yins guys? Time for another video. Now I got a few other topics to come to add to the previous videos I have made. But anyway, when I go into this topic, I'm going to give you reference to a video. I'm going to find it and put the link underneath the video for you, because I want you to give reference to this video, because this is also gang stalking of my experience, previous job, and I want to compare it with a particular video when I find it, like videos about consumerism. And this one video, when I find the link, I'm going to put it there for you, or if you find it yourself, it's about that and gang stalking too. But in this video, the documentary, there's this one British guy, and he was talking about, I love that expression when they say taking a piss, because it's a wonder it didn't catch on in my country, because we call it pissing and moaning. But anyway, he was talking about, I relate to this because he was talking about how he took a bike to work, and he said, quote, everybody at work, what do they care? And they're taking the piss about him taking a bike to work. Everybody got cars. And I totally agree with this, because I myself, if any of you guys followed my other videos, not just, this is one of the most important things that brings it all together, like with my fitness videos and how I got caught. Well, people didn't care at first, like doing my fitness stuff before the starting of my shift, and the people in the other shift, and how I was doing the stuff on purpose, because some of my friends, and maybe the gossips too, showing off from the women, and at the same time, the guys that didn't like me that much, I was able to go on bare knuckle and splits and grind the knuckles out there, and just without an innuendo of like a fuck you innuendo, or without actually threatening my haters or whatever, an incentive that, what the fuck are you gonna do? I'm not. You can heckle me all you want. What the fuck you can do to me? But anyway, with all of that put in parentheses in my other videos, I wanted to put this consumerism thing, because I'm trying to tell you, I found videos that can place myself as far as being targeted. And now I think a thing where they hated just as much, if not worse, the fitness thing, where I was accusing, they want equality extremism and want you to bust your ass, get good and tired, and not be able to, you can't wait to go home and watch TV. And then people got their car. That's another thing too. The people got their cars and SUVs. And this video is about where they weren't just pissed off because of all the other shit that I tell you in my other videos they're doing, which they really don't want you doing. They want it to be something like on TV, even though it's, like I said in another video, it's all over YouTube and all over certain things. And they want you to say, oh, that's not really real. You can't really do that. Like I made my case in my last video about if you're a woman or a girl going into a workforce out doing maybe a line of work that's laboring in a factory, that I was trying to direct that video to some of you and women that make videos about being gang stalked. But anyway, along with all that, I was rode the bike and did a lot of walking to the job, walking to work. I did a lot of that. And the reason why I was being targeted along with the other shit, yes, not only did I ride the bike to work, and when I rode the bike, I walked it up a big ass hill. I try to pedal it a little bit in lesser gear, get my ankles and feet going a little bit, but not burn up all my strength. But if I did a little bit of it, take something with me to eat in the morning once I got there, to replace something, and don't max yourself up before your workplace goes, which that's another thing I preach too. You don't, I was preaching that to some women that I got fired from the job too. They do some gym cardio, and I was saying, you can do a little less. You don't have to do all that and then burn yourself out. You could get stronger and quicker and everything, and have more excess energy than when you work hard. So I was targeted. I had friends, but I was targeted because I rode a bike to work, the poor man's Harley Davidson. I paid good money for new rims on that, and then disc brakes we've got to replace every once in a while. But then I walked, and the thing that pissed them off is not only did I do that, what I'm teaching, trying to convey to some of you in these videos, if you want to, you're on board with this and you want to piss some people off, oh, and if you want to get targeted and then be proud of it and be able to fit people off anyway, but I ain't going to say people ain't going to want to retaliate against you like they retaliate against me, but I walked, rode a bike, and not only that, yeah, everybody else was all dragging herself with their coffees or Dunkin' Donuts coffee. People of different statures. Some of them that, they can't wait to get high or whatever the hell, they're different. Couple of different cultures in there all at once. And, they're bullshitting each other all the time. Everybody had their thing where, okay, yeah, all ready to do this work thing. And I'm walking, right? A lot of times walking just for the hell of it, because when you have an MP3 phone and your Bluetooth speaker, you may want to listen to nature a little bit, but then, man, you just walk right with pride no matter what weather. Pouring down rain, you got to watch, it don't get wet and ruined, but yeah, I'm doing all that, right? Walking to work, and I'm strutting right in there after walking. Some days I'm walking, just strutting right in there and doing some of the things that I told you in some of my videos that they eventually fired. They were letting me do it, but then, like I said, when I had people trying to deliberately start arguments with me in a restroom or passive-aggressive shit to try to start shit just to get an excuse to get me called in the office to say, hey, you pissed off one of our relatives, instead of standing there and taking a shit, so we're gonna shut you down. You're not doing anything. And then later on, I get fired for just. I said, oh, okay, none of that other shit anymore. I can understandable. It's okay. But yeah, there are people a lot tell me, oh, it's all impossible, and it's not. And people were literally making it impossible, like it couldn't be done. Walking pretty far to a job, about 5 miles, like nothing. You got an MP3 player with you, like I said, it's nothing. And then a little bit of stretching. You don't have to get really flexible, and then get rid of that pressure that's pulling down, on your hamstrings and your back, and you could walk way farther. But the people in these crowds, they're either brainwashed or they want to make it. People want to make that unattainable, and then there's a code where don't disagree with you won't have friends. I'm strutting right in there from walking and doing all this shit. That's what pissed people off the most. And I was getting my bike tires punctured 2-3 times a week. And whatever I tried to rationalize and say, oh, I lost them somehow. And no way I lost these keys. The electronic door lock, the key to the main door of this building, I had to get replaced. But they fucking stole my keys. They used to poke my tires. And then one time, and you know what? I was a mask. That's another thing pissing people off. I knew it was going on because I believe your people with your videos, and I try to make suggestions in these videos that gang stalk, people play games, right? So not only about the walking to work and stuff, they're puncturing my tires, right? But I became a pretty good master at I carried new replacement inner tubes, but before putting in just a new inner tube, I was a master quick. Throw a patch, find the hole in the tire, inflate the inner tube and feel around where there's like air coming out when you squeeze. Aha, there's, let the air out again. Patch with the rubber cement, the little piece of sandpaper on the inner tube. Patch the inner tube. It's like it even takes me a few minutes before leaving to go home for the job. But sometimes at lunchtime, I'd find it right there. And one time I found a drywall screw right in the damn thing. But then other times when I found holes in the tires, yes, we had scrapyard trucks that were always on that highway when I'm on the highway part. 2 scrapyards. We use that route, and some of them are supposed to have for them box trucks, tarps on there, just like roll-off trucks. But yeah, you'll get metal shards, even pieces of metal laying on the road. But I found metal shards in the tires. But when you are very experienced in doing your bike tires, you'll find a shard, but you can tell if something was a nail in there, right? But then when I found certain holes visible and located them, I found where it was pin or nail holes, right? Not just that, in ones without a nail in it, right, or a thumbtack. You could see where there was a hole in there, but another hole right next to it, as if somebody just pulled it out and then poked it again. So I had a small, usually when it was a metal shard, it would be still in the fucking tire. You know what I'm saying? And you can tell easy how many of those were done on purpose. And like people just were just literally doing that on purpose. And I made people mad that it didn't bother me that much. I smiled, I make sure looking around, smile on my face, patching back up, played it, went off. So, and I know damn well that, okay, it wasn't agitating, that they weren't agitating me there. It's just somebody fucking stole my keys. It wasn't just the keys to the door to my house. Girlfriend got keys and I had spare bike keys, thank God. So I had to walk back home. I like to walk to the job anyway, and when it was some wintertime, people used to say with this look on their face, you know, so, unlike your friends, oh, what are you going to do wintertime? I says, well, I look online, show them online, there's studded tires. I had wanted an excuse to buy. You can get them, you can go online and buy them. I always wanted to try a set of those. But for the most part, I walked. I didn't mind. Cold. Oh, it's too cold. Nobody does. It's impossible. Well, guess what? People fucking take walks. They're trying to make that obsolete. Like you're crazy just for the hell of it. Oh, nobody walks. You need a fucking car to go a couple blocks down the street anymore. You know, you fucking kidding me? So yeah, they steal my keys, and not only it was the keys to the door, but I was able to text the girlfriend to let me in, no problem, and I had to take the spare keys and be more careful. Don't put them in my bag with my personal belongings anymore. That's why they got fucking stolen. That wouldn't have happened. The first time I started, the keys were gouging me in the leg when I'm carrying in my pockets, and I didn't trust wearing them on my belt because keys are known to fall off of the little things on your belt, no matter what kind you have. So that was my mistake. I started putting them in stuff, you know what I mean, inside a pack. And it was partly open. Somebody fucking stole it. So I had to walk home. Well, that didn't bother me. I was even telling people. People were like, I was pissing people off when they were asking me, oh, yeah, it must have been. Well, I do it anyway. I'm laughing about it. You know, that's a thing, even if you were inside, actually annoyed a little bit. And maybe the first couple times you'll be mildly annoyed, but I learned right away, and I teach this to certain people that, oh, I got the spare keys, I'll just be more careful. But they didn't expect me. I don't know how many of you guys watching this would even comprehend being able to do that either. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'm one of the few people making a video about this saying that how many out there that ride bicycles that are more athletic than me, they're fancy shorts, bike riding shorts and riding bike. And I've seen some of them in the colder weather when there wasn't snow. Bike riding shorts, man, they're passing my ass up. They must be like taking some kind of enhancers or something, you know what I mean? Steroids or something, not like steroids that you real big, but something to get them, or more expensive bikes, I don't know, but people do it. But so that wasn't good enough to get to me. I was patching the tires and all that with a smile on my face because I got good at it because I help people with their bikes too. That's another reason. So, they steal the keys and make me have to walk, and I have to go get the spare keys, leave the bike chained up there, and then, I'm coming back with a spare inner tube, and instead of patching, and I just sometimes, if I have a spare inner tube, I'll throw the inner tube in if I have a spare, and then just patch it at home. But there's a lot of times just to show off, I wanted to send the message to somebody, get spares, and I could do that. So, I get my keys stolen, and they up the game. Your people that target you up the game. and all that. Because I'm pissing them off. Not only I was even walk or ride a bike, I'm just strutting right in there. Not even everybody is teaching that, oh, you need a car. You're just, oh man, it's time to get started, go to work. And I'm strutting in there and doing all this other shit, at the same time. Well, that pissed people off. So the stealing the keys didn't work, so they upped the game. I get people starting arguments with stupid shit in the restroom, like one story I told. And then I get called in the office for basically whatever version of their story. It's somebody's relatives over there, and they were going to punish me by telling me I'm not allowed to do the shit that I used to do anymore. While in the beginning, the one nice supervisor that actually he hired me on was raving about it that I do yoga, But then all of a sudden now, the dynamic changed now because, they'll side with somebody because it's somebody's relative. I'm not allowed to do it anymore. Now it's provocative, dangerous, and all of a sudden, that it's not only weird, it's like a concern now that I might be a little bit of everything. I might be something dangerous now. So then I get caught, I was just doing the downward dog thing where I'm tying my boots anyway. I didn't think that fit under the category of the other shit that I had to stop. So then said a guy, one supervisor with his flabby arms and his t-shirt looks like this, but flabby arms and a striped tattoo like the tribal. Unlike other people that sport those things that are, really built. Nothing wrong with tattoos, nothing wrong with that type of tattoo, but he's like just a decorator. I mean, yeah, he's one of them. No need to be built or anything. It's like, what are you going to do? I can speak to you any way I want. What are you going to do? Hit me? Yeah, that'd be the last thing you ever do. They don't say that, but that's the innuendo. And it's like, get out of here, you're fired. And it's like says you have like friends, half of them that are women that still communicate you to this day. But what I'm directing this at is what you, some of you will expect out there. It's going to be for some of you guys that decide not to run a car number, you can't afford it. But I got a story that's from when I had my first job and then my first apartment. I rebelled against everybody, my mother and all the society. And that story that's maybe I might tell later, stems from that, my outright refusing to get a car. And in this place, I did flaunt my total rebellion, refusal to get a car. I said, I ain't fucking paying. I just ain't fucking doing it. Because I didn't do it when, like I said in some of my other videos, when I was making some pretty big bucks at the cost of a restaurant. And I had it in my mind. I was still used to that. I don't know, the walk sometimes, you just like it, and then you just can't see struggling at a workplace. Say if you're making a lesser wage, something just above minimum wage, and minimum wage changes so many years ever since I was 20s. So I was basically, I'm pretty much being a punk about it and refusing. Fuck cars, fuck that. Being a fucking robot. You think you're better than me because you got a fucking SUV? And then you kiss ass, so maybe you make a little bit of more money or something somewhere along the line. But yeah, I guess I started out from my first job was basically fucking minimum wage. What minimum wage was when I was fucking 20 and I had my first job. I mean, it was like, forget what it was. It's safe to say it was. And then when minimum wage goes up, the cost of everything you do, everything from your rent to everything, goes up. Yeah, they raised the minimum wage, but don't want to totally go into that. But that's the whole reason why people telling you have to have a car and you're crazy for not getting one. And and everything. Oh, walking to anything other than doing anything, busting your ass in a job. They want you to bust. I made fun of that shit and they didn't like it. Bust your ass in a job, you're making just above minimum wage. And then, make car payments, more freedom, and I pretty much disproved the thing. I pretty much outright disproved the thing where you need a car, you need credit cards. Oh, you can't just walk places. There's some places that are too far. Unfortunately, you do. I have that thing where they're forcing you to if you have to go to some job farther, making jobs less available unless you have to literally drive farther. If you got a bunch of buddies and friends carpooling to save the money and less parking spots and traffic, city, that's a whole dynamic too, a good reason. You know, I mean, people doing that, but fuck, you know, that. But there literally a rule among your people at workplaces that it can't be done. Then when you do it, it shouldn't be done, and then you're doing it in front of them, disproving them. You're crazy and you're an asshole, and it's just no. It's embarrassing. It's not normal. Get him the fuck out of this workplace. How dare you? What the fuck is? Who the fuck does he think he is? You know, that's their game. You know, it's the whole game. But yet, anybody that behaves that way and accuses you of bad behavior, they can get laid off someday and maybe have to just cut back or something. And people like me were already doing that shit willingly, just so I could, instead of even getting high or doing drugs or something, buy extra pizza and extra CDs. But yet at the same time, I preached that yet all, whatever you want to believe in or not believe in, we're all corrupt physically. I understand for health reasons, some people got to go to a job, right? But their health doesn't, and their things about their cells, you know, they're lucky they can go to a job. They're not able to do all this like walking. Hey, I might be an old man with a cane someday, you know, and have shit wrong with me, but I'm not going to go down for anybody like that. But one other thing, if you got this far in this video, my thinking too, for anybody else in these spying on me there from that former workplace, I got friends there that I run into even on social media. I don't say who it is. They tell me all the shit that's going on and tell me the shit people say. If you got this far in this video, the way I grew up thinking, me getting a car like that, I just couldn't adapt after all that time. I spent some time before I left. You know, I was driving. I went to Family World, or before it didn't work out, I drove the family car for a while and did their shopping for them and shit like that. But they were physically able to do shit. But other than that, I just didn't want to fucking do that shit anymore either. If people can't act right, you know, either. But me having a car is just one of these things where I don't know if any of you guys seen that movie with Michael Douglas. It's a movie called Falling Down. I'm one of them people that like, better off I don't get a car and have to drive to some job way far away and shit, because some days I would almost be like Michael Douglas with that movie Falling Down. People, their noise, and stuck in traffic. If you can just get through it, you're fine. But I might be like him, just get the fuck out of the car, just walk right out, and a bunch of people will say, "Hey, what are you doing? Where are you going?" And then I say, "I'm going home." Just leave the fucking. I might. People that know me in this actual offline world know this. I told them that I'd walk. I think I even told some of these coworkers this jokingly. I said we're making reference to this movie. I don't condone that movie. It's just a movie. I mean, I ain't advocating or condoning anything in the fictional movie to do any of the stuff Michael Douglas did in that movie, because Michael Douglas is just an actor, right? And he's putting forth some truths out there through a movie. He ain't telling you to do. But I'm definitely not gonna blame him and point the finger at him and say that I just maybe got out of a car and walked away and left because the movie told me to do it. But I'm just saying that I'm making reference to that movie that, yeah, I lived that way for a while, you know, and held a good paying job, like I told you in one of my other videos, for 10 years and right across from a restaurant, and I thought that was all it was going to be. And with smirks on my face then, you know, a bunch of years before all that other job that I was just telling you about here. And I did it, and I was so used to it, and I just proved people, and I guess I got stubborn along the line and physically fit and different things too. And I have this motto that don't get dependent on anything, any kind of things about getting high. I saw places when I do my walking to this job or riding bike to this job, a restaurant and bar, a place that serves beer. I'll drink a beer with a meal. Like there's some restaurant place that serves beer too. I'm for that, but I don't want any extra cigarettes. I just don't want that. No marijuana. Don't want, because like it's one of my favorite things that Canadian Prepper dude said that I believe before I even found his channel. I think I developed a reverse thinking that actually helps me out where, and unlike everybody else that are dying for a cigarette, this or that, I get this idea, whether it's really going to happen or not, it will eventually where, hey, when shit changes some kind of a way, and you don't got that, even if that supply line was temporarily cut out, everybody else will be, oh, they want their cigarette. Oh, what am I going to do about my cell phone? Oh, my SUV. But I can actually laugh at that shit, you know what I mean, too. Like there'd be a point where some of them out there were, I'd be laughing where they'll be all in misery and they'd probably lynch me and beat me to death. You know, because like when getting fired for that one job was basically a lynching. You know, it was a witch hunt. Like I don't want to be like Donald Trump, but it's like a witch hunt. And the whole way that I'm preaching about why you'll be targeted is just that's it. And so to sum this all up, there's a band called Coroner. I like it because the Coroner talks about, Coroner is the guy that, you know, examines you how you died. But yet the band Coroner, the lyrics I used in one of my fitness videos too, which sums it all up. I will smile while you still cry. I will understand while you still ignore. I'll be far away while you still sleep. And all that stuff. So any of these people that want to target you or whatever and give you a hard time, that I think one of my favorite songs, their lyrics and for that band, that's me, and that can be you. That can be you too, with the right attitude, you know, and do and act in a way. If you refuse to be in that box, you can say that. That can be the anthem for not just me, maybe you, I don't know. Then anybody else might be just flipping me off saying, well, fuck you, you know. And then I'd be like, well, fuck you too, you know. That's just it.